Hey guys, so take two. I am so sorry. I was so stoked. I was actually going to watch the premiere with you guys. I be damn. No volume. And usually after I upload, right, I delete it on my end. So we're just going to have to re-record. I guess I should go ahead and take my jacket off. I had it on because I was cold earlier. But yeah, honey, I am so sorry. But that's okay, because I got the information right here. Maybe this video will end up being a little shorter because I've already done the run through. Okay, so let's jump right in. Let me take my jacket off. Spirit is so funny, y'all. After the premiere started, and then I realized, sound issues, right? They sent me an angel number, and I looked up the angel number, and it was like, pay attention, basically. Pay attention to what you're giving your energy to, and how. And I was, okay. Y'all couldn't have said that earlier. Like, what the heck? I'm so bummed, but I'm not so bummed. It just gives me an opportunity to start again and makes me aware of the need to do what? Pay attention, right? Oh, MG. So what we're here to do, guys, welcome back first to Tiff Talks 22. This is actually going to be my first podcast recording for a really long time. I was speaking to somebody on the internet about something that came up with the gospel singer Kim Burrell. And this girl said something like, "Where have you been, in a closet?" or something like that. And I was like, honey, over here trying to keep my vibe high. I don't be watching these celebrities and this gossip and stuff like that. Um, so she was like inquiring why I didn't know or hadn't heard about what had happened with this situation. Because yeah, I protect my vibe, my frequency. But then I was thinking, I bet there are some people, because people always say that. I know I definitely say vibe high all the time. But I was thinking, there are probably some people who are not completely sure or not completely aware of what we mean by that, right? Or what a high vibration or high frequency is. And so, yeah, let's talk about it. So, in this video, we're going to talk about what that is, why a higher vibration is important, how do you know or how you can tell if your vibe is low or taking a dip, or yeah, not what you would want it to be. What are the ways that you can lower your vibration, because there are things that we do and that are common in society that lower our vibration, and I feel like people aren't even aware of it, or they don't realize it just because it's something that's so normal, some things that are so normal. And then of course we're going to talk about how to raise your vibe. So let's jump right in. Hopefully I don't talk too fast, because I know I'm trying to be aware of it, because I've already recorded it, right? So I don't want to be trying to run through it. But I want you to definitely get this information. So what is your vibe? What's your frequency? It is your state of being. It is how you feel. It's how you act. It's the energy that you carry, or just naturally express, right? It's similar to your mood, but I feel like it's a little bit deeper than your mood, right? Um, Especially if you are a person who is sensitive, other people's energy can affect this easily. But even if you're not sensitive or you don't consider yourself sensitive, everything is energy or has an energy. And so I feel like, especially as humans, as living beings, our energy can be affected easily, whether we are aware of it or not. Um, and so, yeah, it's like your vibe, your frequency, it's how you're feeling, it's your state of being, it's how you feel, how you act, and that energy that you exude. You know how some people are just fun to be around, and it's not like you have to be really doing anything. That's probably somebody who's vibing on a higher frequency. And so they just feel like good energy. Yeah, so I laughed because I thought of a driver that I had once before, and I just felt like I had known her a lifetime ago. She was so kind and personable and just a light. Anyway, So that is what your vibration is, your frequency, and often it can be seen or felt before you even open your mouth to speak to someone. So it's super important, but it's also important because the higher your frequency, the higher your vibration, you're likely you're likely happier, and you're likely going to be more productive. Um and also you're likely you have more of a control of your inner peace, right? So even if things feel chaotic around you, you're able to stay calm and really navigate life's challenges in a way that allows you to move through them because your perspective is different. There's an understanding of like love and trust that, okay, what's coming next is going to be something more positive, or this is for my own good, right? Which is why it's so funny, which is why I didn't really get upset. Because I remember one time I recorded a video and then I ended up losing it. And baby, I was in tears. I was in tears. But that was different because that was like a reading I had done for a missing person. And that case was super, super close to my heart. But probably I was too emotionally attached to it. And baby, I just boo-hooed. But I think I re-recorded it too. But yeah, so this is different. Definitely calmer about it because like it's all good. It didn't take very long. So let's just get into it, right? So that high vibration is super important because it's going to help you to more calmly be able to deal with any challenges that pop up in life, right? And also it allows you to attract more of what is matching your vibration. So you've probably heard people say that love is the highest frequency. Love and abundance, they vibrate on the same frequency. And so when you are in a positive energy, you attract those things. When you're in a higher vibration, you're able to more quickly attract those things than when you are in a negative vibration. And the negative is anything that is more fear based. And we're going to talk about a little bit about how fear expresses itself or shows up in your life. So, yeah, so how that is a negative energy. It's like, it's either fear or love and trust, right? So it's one or the other. They're like polar opposites, so to speak. So if you are living in fear, it is hard for you to be in this positive, high vibrational, optimistic energy of love and trust and faith that something good is coming, right? So yeah. So you want to be able to attract those things. So you need to be in a higher vibration for that to happen. You'll hear people say you can still manifest when you're in a negative energy. Sure you can, but guess what you manifest? You go attract to you the energy that you're exuding. So if you are doubtful or if you're fearful, and I feel like that's partially true, right? Because what is for you is going to be for you, whether it is now or in the future. But at the same time, it's like if you are in a negative energy, you're likely to draw more things to you that are negative. So if say you are a person that's like, oh, craziest stuff is always happening to me. The worst stuff, like I just get okay. So basically, your words have power. So the things that you're saying, you're telling the universe this is what happens. So okay, the universe is going to say, sure, it is. Let's send that to you. Let's send that to you. Let's send that to you because you just basically asked for it. Anyway, so your vibration is super important because yeah, the higher the frequency, the happier you are and the more productive you are. Okay. So how do you know when your vibe is low or you're on a lower frequency? The plain and simple, assess how you feel. How do you feel? We've often talked about on this channel energy vampires, right? People who feel like they drain you physically or emotionally, like you say you do something with them or you go around them or you have an experience with them, and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm so exhausted, but it don't even feel like we did nothing. No, you didn't, but that person just sucked the life out of you and because of their energy or their mood or their temperament. And even if they don't do it on purpose, which I'm learning that a lot of people don't do it on purpose, it's just who they are and they don't realize that about themselves. So yeah, so how do you know if your vibration is low? Just take a look, or just really evaluate how you feel in that moment. Did something that you do drain your energy? Did something that you do or someone that you're around? Um, I've had experiences with people that I've had conversations with, even short conversations or short interactions or short exchanges. And it's like, dang, now I'm cranky. I'm snapping at folk. Like, what the heck just happened here? Um, I've had a sexual experience with somebody that I noticed that with as well. It's almost like we switched positions, which is why I preach to y'all all the time about the exchange of sexual energy, honey, being so super important. But yeah, so people have the ability to drain you. Things that you do has the ability to drain you. Things that you eat have the ability to drain you. But just pay attention to how you feel. So, do you feel sad? Do you feel angry? Do you feel sluggish all of a sudden? Are you feeling tired, like fatigued? Are you feeling emotionless? Oh, I just saw 1111 on the clock. Are you feeling unmotivated all of a sudden? Are you irritable? Are you fearful? Are you anxious? Are you depressed? Anything that's like negativity based is going to be like lower vibrational. I know we've heard that term a lot. Um, since that lady with the video, she did the video and she was like, look at that low vibrational plate. Yeah, that kind of went viral, right? Uh, we don't want to be associated with her, but that's just an example that I know was pretty popular. And yeah, I mean, she's right. There are certain foods that can create that energy for you, but it's like once you're aware of it and you do better, right? It is what it is. So yeah, basically, how do you know if your vibe is low or if you are in a lower frequency? You just really pay attention to your feelings, to your emotions, to what you feel guided to say or to do, your actions as well, right? There are some ways that you can quickly lower your vibration, and it's not anything that you would want to do. But these are things that people do or that we do as people, as humans, that automatically do this for us, whether we know it or not. So let me tell you what some of those are. Eating unhealthy and processed foods. Okay? I'm not here to try to talk nobody into being vegan or vegetarian, right? I've had my stint. I think I went 2 years vegetarian. Um, But there's that saying, kind of, you are what you eat. And I feel like there's a lot of truth to it. And killing of any animal, right? Killing is inhumane in any sense of the word. But, you know, also meat is meat. So it's like some of these animals are raised to be killed. They're raised for the purpose of feeding, but they're also treated inhumanely throughout that process or before that process even begins. So that definitely has an effect. Also, like the chemicals and the things that they put in food. So eating unhealthy and processed foods is definitely going to have an impact on your energy. I actually, between the time that I actually recorded and edited or processed that video to upload it, and now where I'm re-recording, I actually ate between that. So when I saw that the video didn't work, I was like, dang. Because I usually, like, when I'm channeling or recording of some sort, I try not to eat, because sometimes I'll eat and it's just like, I don't want to do nothing else now, right? Or even when I'm channeling or I have a lot of personal readings to do, that is all energy. I usually feel more connected and higher vibrational also when I haven't eaten anything. Or sometimes I'll just make like a smoothie and then let that do all day because I have like a lot of work to do. Because yeah, so certain things that you eat is going to affect that energy. Also, this one, honey, this is why, like, y'all got to really pay attention to the agenda. This is why you see every celebrity, not every, but a lot of them now are coming out with their own lines of this, right? Why? Because when you're in this energy, or you are under the influence of this thing, you are in a lower vibrational a lower vibrational state. And when you're in that lower vibrational state, that's a state of fear. So you're able to easily be controlled or manipulated or influenced, right? So what am I talking about? Alcohol. Okay. Alcohol is one of the quickest ways to lower your vibration. And I feel like it is no coincidence that they're using all of these celebrities, all of these people that have the ability to make such an impact on the impressionable public society to say, "Oh, look at this line, try this liquor," try, because yeah, there is an agenda. Trust me when I tell you that. I remember when I first started going through my awakening, and y'all, I'm somebody who used to drink like a lot as a method of coping or escaping or whatever the case, right? I used to drink quite a bit, um, mostly socially, but not just socially. Sometimes just to take the edge off, sometimes to relax, right? And so what you do is kind of learn other ways of doing that, of relaxing, of coping, of maintaining a certain inner peace, etc. But as I started to awaken and I was going through my transformation, um, it was like an overnight switch. Something just changed. I remember my coworker and I went out for my birthday and we didn't buy alcohol. We went out to eat. We didn't buy alcohol, but somebody bought us some shots for my birthday, and I was like, I don't even want this. And we we sit across the table like, you take it. I'll do it if you do it. We count down, and we were literally like 3, 2, 1. Neither one of us moved. Like it just wasn't something that we wanted to do or I wanted to do. And then I remember buying champagne for like the new year, and y'all, I tried to take like just a sip of it, and it was like disgusting to me. I just couldn't do it. It's like my body developed an aversion to alcohol. So I don't know if it was the taste of it or just me knowing on a soul level the effect that it would have. And I just couldn't do it. I feel like my vibe was so high, especially then, boy. My vibe was so high at that time that it was like instinctive to protect my energy and felt like something that I didn't even have control over, if I'm being honest with you. So, yeah, alcohol definitely lowers your vibration. Also, engaging in or encouraging gossip. Gossip is a negative energy. That is part of the reason why I don't like to do like celebrity readings. If you guys see me do, and I think I've been doing more of them lately, but I assure you, every celebrity reading that I do or a reading that I do on a celebrity, I have gotten like divine approval or permission to do so before I do it. Because at the end of the day, I recognize how people can send energy to celebrities or the people who are in the spotlight. What's her name? Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's um her her stalker has been arrested 3 times in the last 5 days. Okay? So this is like somebody who sends an energy of obsession towards Taylor, even if he wasn't getting caught. This is so they deal with a lot. So I don't want to be adding to that by bringing a spotlight on people. Now, when they do crazy stuff, and it's like, okay, this needs to be discussed or exposed or whatever the case, right? But just to like tap into their lives just for the heck of it, just for purposes of entertainment, I try not to do that. Every blue moon, you'll see that. But anyway, so engaging in or encouraging gossip. Also, there's this channel that I follow, and she really just kind of reports when they do these ridiculous things. Um, it's called RRG, and she is so funny with her ad libs and stuff, but she's doing it from a more of a journalistic place instead of like a let me tell you the tea kind of energy, right? It's definitely a little bit different, but I also feel like it's kind of like one of my guilty pleasures because she is so funny. And I say guilty, right? Because part of me feels like, okay, this is gossip too. But of course, gossip is anything that is untrue. Um, so yeah, she I feel like this is not about her opinion. She's telling you things or reporting things that have happened. So she's one of the higher vibrational channels. But like Unwind with Tasha K and Storm Monroe, I cannot listen to that stuff. I just can't do it. Also, speaking of Storm Monroe, profanity is another way to really lower your vibration. And yeah, I'm working on that. I really like the way that I speak, my cussing, my use of profanity has changed. So usually what I'm noticing about myself on a personal level is when I'm cussing, I'm either nervous or like using it as just like a filler. I may be nervous or anxious or actually like angry and upset. Um, but it's not like just a regular part of my vocabulary just for the heck of it. It is definitely lower vibrational. And I can also tell my aversion to it too when my vibration is higher. Because if I'm sitting around somebody who is cussing like every other word, it is so off-putting. It is so off-putting. So yeah, profanity is one way. Also, just doing or witnessing things that go against your personal values or your moral values or your ethical values is going to lower your vibration. Um, I was thinking about like the reality shows that we watch, of course, because TV, lower vibrational TV is next up. Just sitting and watching those types of things can leave you feeling drained. You may be amped up, like girl, da 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 da, like you getting into it, and you have all these opinions, but then you kind of become what it is that you're watching. So be very careful of that. Lower vibrational TV can be anything from violence to aggression to just negativity and drama, right? If you're watching these women be catty or backstabbing or they're gossiping or cheating or fornicating or just all these different things, if they go against your values, is going to feel toxic to you as well. Okay. Um, so yeah, even if it's like I'm not there, I'm just watching them. The fact that you watch it is a show of support. Okay, for sure. So so it's kind of like you supporting, witnessing, encouraging, engaging, and yeah, it affects your vibration. I can't even watch like murder TV. It's so funny. Something that is not funny. It's funny in a sad way. I was looking for something on television. There's this channel on regular TV called Bounce, right? I think it's black owned, a black owned station, but it's supposed to be like black programming, TV programming. And so it's like, okay, I'll go on there every now and then because I do not watch a lot of TV, but I'll go on there every now and then to look for something, to watch. And it's never anything fun. It's never anything uplifting. It's always gangs, shootings, murders, killings. Like it is never, I feel like that is not by coincidence that I cannot find anything that's uplifting on this channel geared towards black people. Don't get me wrong, I feel like this is the direction that media is taking for society as a whole. I just saw 2323 on the clock. This is a direction that media is taking for society as a whole, but I feel like now and for a very long time, black people have been the demographic where this was um like way common, okay? This type of low vibrational TV was more common, all right? Anyway, so there's that. You also have complaining. Anyone that is in an energy where they're constantly complaining is a negative vibe, okay? It's a negative vibe. That may be them, whatever it is that they're complaining about, there's a reason for it and it's likely associated with something negative. So be careful of those types of people or mindful of that if it's you, right? Also, mindless activities, doing things that don't serve a purpose at all. The example that I used earlier was scrolling on social media. It's like you're not looking for nothing in particular, but you just looking, and then before you know it, you are taking in all these energies, you're having all these different thoughts, and you've wasted all this time when you could have been focused on something that was more meaningful, more purposeful. I heard a prominent social media influencer the other day. He did an interview, and he was saying that the powers that be, the higher ups, what he gets paid for is basically to create content that keeps the viewer on the app. They want they want us to create something that keeps people in their app. That didn't sit right with me. I felt like he should feel some type of way about being the source of that, right? And it's not like it's his app, but because you know that that's the case, and I'm not saying to dim your light or to not shine or to not be good at what you do, but because that you know that that's the case, be sure the things that you put out or that you are creating are beneficial, right? So yeah, and that was my experience too with TikTok. Like I have a TikTok account for TiffTALKS22. I even have some followers, but y'all probably won't see any real content from me on that platform, just because like when I made that account, I'm like, okay, let me check out the app. I'm looking through it and stuff, and I looked up, y'all, and it had been 3 hours. It's like, dang, I had stuff to do. And here I am 3 hours later still scrolling on this dang app. Oh, that's a problem. That is a problem. So yeah, just mindless activities, things that just really don't serve a purpose, that distract you from pursuing your life purpose or things that are going to be beneficial to you and other people in some way. So be very careful of that. But those things tend to lower our vibration. And you know that because you're watching it and now you don't feel motivated to do other things. You don't feel excited, or some things you're either upset about now because there's some things you've seen. Like, just, yeah, be very mindful of that. Engaging in addictions. Okay. So things that you would use to cope or to escape from whatever your current reality is are going to typically lower your vibration. I'm not going to elaborate on that. I just leave it there. Y'all know the things we're talking about. And then last and definitely not least is doing things out of fear instead of love and trust. Or yeah, instead of love or trust, doing things out of fear. But then it's like, what is something that you would do out of fear? Fear shows up in various ways. It's expressed in various ways. So that can be expressed as hatred. That can be expressed as anger. Um, it can be expressed as control, as competition, as aggression, as worry, as anxiety, as distrust, judgment, disconnection, envy, jealousy, greed, comparison, resentment, etc. So when you do things out of those energies, you cannot be in the energy of love. You can't be in the energy of trust when you are in expressing your fear, because they are fear-based, expressing your fear instead of focusing on a more positive energy. Okay. So say you get mad at somebody and it's like, oh, I'm about to do this thing to get back at them. That's going to be low vibrational, and it's going to affect you more likely, more so than it affects the person who is your target, so to speak. Okay. So going from that, how do you raise your vibration? Several ways, and it's pretty easy to do. You can raise your vibration, of course, by meditating. Now that's gonna be one that I'm gonna always like push. And it can be difficult to start to get into meditating, to start getting into meditating, but it really just starts with sitting in silence, guys. But meditating allows you to really calm your mind and really to calm your anxious energy, which is going to add to your ability to stay peaceful, and to maintain a really balanced and calm and grounded energy. So even when I just saw 2929 on the clock, I'm naming these angel numbers because it may be something significant for you. And yeah, it might be something relevant. So I just do that. So it's like, oh, I knew this was my message, or this was what I needed to hear. So that's why I do that. Anyway, but yeah, so meditating just really allows you to stay calm, especially when things are not calm around you. That's going to benefit you in the way that you handle certain things, like I said previously, or move through certain challenges. So meditation is super, super helpful in that way. Also, thinking positive thoughts. When you are in the middle of negative thoughts or self-critical thoughts, affirmations are good for more than just, when you having negative thoughts about yourself, right? So of course, we have these thoughts like, oh, that is so this, or that is so dumb, or negative things, right? So I had already started this practice where for every one negative thing that I think about myself, right, to minimize like self-criticism, for every one thing that I think about myself, I go back and replace that thought with three positive things. But that's just the difference in in the weight of those types of phrases. So whenever you're in that negative energy and you're having these negative thoughts, it's critical to shift how you're thinking, and you can definitely use affirmations to do that. And that's going to also raise your vibration, because now you're not focused on that negative thing or that negative feeling, right? Also, connect to the people that inspire you, not the people that bring you down or that stress you out. People that inspire you in some way or add inspiration to your life. That could be people that are present in your day to day, your personal life, or say people that you follow that you get some type of inspiration from, right? Um, so, there are some people who are just like lights in this world, like Miss Tabitha Brown. She's definitely a light. Um, I know that there are other people that are inspirational for me, but she just off the top of my head is definitely one that I think of who is high vibrational, who you can always count on to go over to her channel and find a reason to smile, right? Um, so yeah, something that inspires you. Also, laughing. This is something that I used to do just to raise my vibration before I got ready to do like people's readings, people's personal readings. I would find something funny. And that could be comedians, or it could be like baby bloopers or children bloopers, because children say the darndest things, honey. So something that makes you laugh or smile, or it could just be a program that you find funny, right? I think the popular thing now though is like people laughing at the expense of other people. And if you think about it, that just kind of is like, what is it called? It's almost like an oxymoron, because it's like you're laughing like this is supposed to be funny, but you're also being ugly or mean to create this laugh, right? Kind of like that comedian DC Young Fly. He is somebody that constantly scores on scores. He be scoring, okay? Scores on somebody else. And what I mean by that is just making somebody else the brunt of the joke. Like making fun of teasing is bullying in schools, right? Making fun of someone's like appearance or the way they do something naturally, or something that things that they perhaps can't control, like their clothes or whatever the case, right? Then that's not funny to me, right? So fine, if you are looking for and wanting to laugh, make sure that you are laughing at something that is high vibration. I just saw 3333 on the clock. But yeah, make sure it's something that is laugh worthy. Next, another way for you to raise your vibration is to do something fun. I'm so sad, y'all. I'm not so sad, but I'm disturbed because I feel like I'm just stuttering now. Because like the flow of my previous video was so good. There wasn't all this and I was just ready to go. So I'm kind of like, but that's okay. You're still getting the information, and I feel good still. It's just like, dang, that was a good take. It was a good take. Anyway, so this next one, it says to do something fun. So what is fun for you? Fun for me is sitting in a tub of water with my bath salts and my music, right? So what's fun for you? It could be kicking the soccer ball. It could be going to shoot a few hoops. Um, It could even be like watching a romantic comedy or watching a comedy special, like whatever is fun for you, whatever it is that you enjoy, as long as it's not hurting you or damaging to you or anyone else, right? And it, yeah, because if it's something that makes you happy, it's going to raise your vibe. Plain and simple, okay? Another thing would be to get outside and spend time in nature. Speaking of waters, because yeah, y'all know I love to be at the lake, near the lake, by the lake, on the lake. And it's so crazy because I remember the first time I went to like this massive lake down here, I had a freaking panic attack. We was going to a boat party. I had a panic attack, y'all. And now that I think about it, when I think back then, I was nothing like who I am now. I really was ready to party. Like my intention was to get so loaded I wouldn't even be able to tell that I was on the water. It was supposed to be that kind of party, but I guess they already knew it too. But whatever the case, the boat ended up staying docked. Like we didn't take off at all. I feel like I manifested that because my anxiety was so high. But now it would be like, oh, I couldn't wait to get there. Isn't that crazy? Life is so funny that way. Um, One of the last things is to get off of social media if you're trying to raise your vibration. Log out. Just log out. Give yourself a detox break. Even if it's not for a week or a month, just taking the day off, right? Not looking for the day, especially if it's something that you do every day, is going to be super beneficial. Get off of social media, especially too if you're already in like a lower vibrational energy and then you get on um social media where it is like troll and idiot central most days, right? Then you really find yourself like stepping out of your box to meet some of these people where they at, right? So then you kind of are being counterproductive in that way because you kind of open yourself up to be triggered. So yeah, get off of social media. And next would be to turn off the TV. As we talked about earlier, just a little while ago, a lot of TV is low vibrational. You know, the news is like if it bleeds, it leads, right? Y'all don't start y'all day with the daggum news on. My mother does that, and then we'll watch the news so much of the day. It's almost disgusting to me. I'm walking around here early today, just vibing high, vibing high. She said, "Oh, let me give you this update." Um, and I'm thinking, okay, what is it? Did I tell you about the man that killed his wife and his children? Like, I just let her tell me, right? Well, I said, what was the point of this random fact? Like, what was the point of that? Like, what was I supposed to get from it? I don't know them. Um, why did I need to know like that right now? So when I say like vampires are people who are unintentionally low vibrational or lowering or have an ability to unintentionally lower your vibration, that's the type of thing that I mean. Uh, she was like, "Well, I just wanted to update you." Well, not only was that not even something that happened locally, it's not something that I would care to watch, right? Like, okay, but yeah, I just want to allow her to communicate, so I let her do that. But but yeah, so turn off the TV, especially the news, because man, it will have you. They are built on promotion of fear. Because why? If you are in a fearful state, you are able to be controlled. So we can tell you this thing and have you afraid to do something or to go somewhere or to use something even when you shouldn't be afraid of it, right? So yeah, and we never know what their motive is actually for some of the things. Some of the things it is just to inform, but a lot of it is so much deeper than that. So definitely turn off the TV if you're trying to raise your vibe. Another thing would be to turn on, last but not least, would be to turn on the music. And yeah, even with that, you still have to be discerning about what music does and its abilities to affect you in a positive or negative way. When I first thought of that, like, duh, of course you turn on the music that makes you feel good, right? Um, I was thinking about sometimes when I like used to listen to rap, it'd be like, okay, I want to listen to Lil Wayne, or I want to listen to this artist, and I turn my music on, then I look up, and all of a sudden I'm going like 80. I'm speeding up the highway. I'm driving more aggressively. I find myself like, move, get out the way, like you know. All of a sudden I'm aggressive where I had been nice and calm, and I'm rapping with the dude. Like, no, music is powerful. So it doesn't have to be meditation music. It doesn't have to be church music. It could be romantic music. It could be just the music that makes you feel good. But be very careful of the things that you allow your little ears to consume, because that also has an ability to affect your vibration, your frequency. There is this thing called solfeggio, I think it's called, frequencies, and it's just like the different hertz of music and the effect that it has on us, on us energetically. And so there are different hertz assigned to different feelings, emotions, and objectives, right? And so you can use music to your benefit, but it's like you may not always, I'm sure there are not very many people that are able to recognize or hear or tell what the hertz or frequency of some things are. However, what I do know is some of these artists record in certain frequencies to keep you in a space that keeps you wanting to hear more of that. Meanwhile, your frequency is being lowered, or it's kind of like programming. So be very careful. Be very careful about the music that you listen to, but also like music is like the it. I like to say it's like how angels communicate with God in a way. Like I feel like it can be that powerful and that uplifting and that medicinal. Um so yeah, if you're listening to the right type of thing, okay? So definitely turn on the music that makes you feel good, that takes you to a happy space or place or time. Not nothing that's gonna make you aggressive and make you want to run, shoot, and kill somebody. Okay, have you getting too crunk where it's like, now I'm mad, like y'all know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, what I'm noticing right now is that this video was not shorter than the previous one. So I guess that's good. That means I either shared the exact same information and stories that I wanted to share with you guys, which mostly I did. And hopefully it just all is recording correctly this time. I really hope this was helpful, guys. Thank you for joining me for the first podcast episode, like my reintroduction, because we know it ain't the first. There's a whole little playlist of things. So definitely take time to scroll from there. You guys know that I still will probably continue to just trust my intuition. The reason that this came up, like I said, was because of the message that I exchanged with that young lady today. And I was going to make a post about it, but then I was like, that's just too much information. That needs to be a video, right, Spirit? And Spirit had already told me like a couple weeks ago that it's time for me to get back on my podcast information thing. And I just didn't feel like I had a topic yet. And so when this came up today, I said, that's a video. And Spirit was like, absolutely it is. And I said, is that a podcast episode? Absolutely it is. Like, they're so intentional, guys. Things just come so clearly. Uh, if you just give it a little time and you're not really looking for the answer, it'll come, it'll come, it'll come. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.